speak love, everyone loves Lulu. See love, hear love, speak love, everyone loves Lulu.
Hey, beautiful. It's me, your girl, Miss Lulu, and it's another episode of Everyone Loves Lulu right here on islandblognetwork.com. And I've got the most special guest I think I will ever have on Everyone Loves Lulu. He is an entrepreneur. He is an artist, a tattoo artist extraordinaire. And he's got stories for days, and I am so excited. I don't think there's enough time on this episode to actually capture the essence of this extraordinary man. Please give it up for my boy, SULU'APE CE Liufau. What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, it is good to see you.
It is
good
fabulous
to see
to see you live and in color.
I'm right here.
So tell me, how has everything been, especially during the pandemic?
It's been wonderful. You know, the pandemic, at first, it's like, oh, holy shit, what's going on?
Right.
And I can't work, or I got to check, or, I think, the craziest thing with the pandemic is my kids. They're off school, they're out of school.
And you become teacher daddy?
I'm not good at that,
So what did you really find out about you as maybe a dad or as a teacher?
That I love teachers.
So much. There's a whole new appreciation,
teachers.
right?
I love the school. I love the principals, all the teachers. I don't get bad teachers, whatever,
You're like half a teacher.
Yeah, Boys and Girls Club. I'm all for it. No, it was good. We got family time, so it kind of
it was forced family time, which it was needed.
Well, it was forced at first, and then after that, you were like, I remember one time I was riding around Newport Beach with my kids on bikes, and I'm just like, this is dope. I'm not worried about working because they said I don't have to worry about paying rent.
Right.
Yeah, and so it's just like,
it's really uninterrupted time with your family.
I'm rolling around with my kids, and it was time that I normally wouldn't have to do. So I think this whole thing just kind of, got me back in with family time, back in with my kids.
And it helped us to stop and really smell the roses, for lack of a better, you know what I mean? Like
roses and everything else.
Especially being here in Southern California, life is definitely in the fast lane.
Yeah.
So to actually get the opportunity, God seriously stopped the world for us to kind of really take in a moment and really reflect on what's important.
Right. And then we're left with a question. Do we give the the applause, our thanks? Do we give it to Trump or Biden?
That's a whole nother show
I don't want to talk about
altogether.
that. Yeah, I'm going to take up episode 15, 16, and 17. Lock me in. I'm here every week.
I love it. You're just going to be my co-host from here on now.
I'm down, Lulu,
I don't know if I can afford you, but...
It'll be tough, but we'll make it work.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, Joe, Joe and Q, they offered me this co-host position.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. We had such a good time on the show. I was on Island Block Radio, came on, talking to everybody. They're like, damn, you're good at this. Like, come co-host.
You're so great.
And then all of a sudden, they ghosted me, So I was like, hey, I don't know, Joe.
Oh, well, yeah. Joe is in the wings right now. Joe, we're going to need an explanation after this for sure. But let's go back. I want to take it all the way in the beginning from when you popped out of the vag, like born. And did you have I don't even know what the instrument is for tattooing, but what was it? So
a hand.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. 2 hands, 10 fingers.
Oh, those are the instruments. So anybody can be a tattoo artist.
2 hands, 10 fingers, and at the time, when I started tattooing, it was also a right foot, because we had a foot pedal.
Oh.
So yeah, that was, and then
okay,
the eyes.
You're gonna have to take me through, because I'm one of those unicorns. I have not one tattoo on my body, so I really don't know. Besides our Samoan, like tapping with a tattoo, but the machines and what it all goes in. But before we actually got on air and we were warming up, I really want everyone to hear the story about the origins of how you came up with it, or how you became a tattoo artist.
So I became,
when you were on vacation.
Yeah, it was on E-Yard actually. It was a plush little resort in Blythe, California.
Yeah,
I just drove by there the other day. Like real story. I was driving. We're going to Lake Havasu, and my woman Tanya over here was just like, hey, let's go to vacay in Blythe. I was like, yeah, I lived there for a long time. Cool. But that's where I started tattooing. So I found myself in in one of them predicaments that life puts you in. It wasn't even crossroads. I didn't get to the crossroads. The crossroad was later on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
And you're pretty young.
I was young. I was young then. I was 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So.
And how long were you away? And who was here?
Full movement, man. My Uso's right there.
Yeah, go ahead, babe. Come in.
Thank you.
We're family here. We just keep. That beautiful hand you just saw was the gorgeous Tani.
If you only knew. So, but.
Oh God, help us.
Right. The hour's just begun.
Okay, so KT, you saying during that time in Blythe?
No, I met KT in Lancaster. I was with there was another guy, Vigo James Rasmussen, who was, I don't know if he was on with the Faux Movement over here.
No, not on set, but I'm sure he's with them.
So I mean, and that's another just great Uso. He was on the Uso Ron's 30 to Life. He did something about him, and I listened to that, and that absolutely touched me because I know that man. In a different time of life, and so, anyways, I'm in prison and locked up. I ended up drawing this little tattoo for myself.
And you were already tatted at this point. You've already had some tattoos.
I had 2 tattoos.
Okay.
I had my last name on my back, which was crooked.
Oh.
I mean, a Garden Grove special.
Oh, yes. Is that the fucked up tattoo that you got that you're like, what in the world? Or it was in your back so you didn't really know?
Yeah, no, there was more. I knew. I mean, I looked at it. When you turn around and, get
a glance at it.
Yeah, do the hidden dragon glance over the mirror and look at the mirror. When you look at it, your back is already crooked. So
right.
So you can't tell if it's crooked or not. But when I looked at this tattoo, I knew it was crooked.
Dang, there wasn't even a doubt in your mind.
There was no doubt. I mean.
So another question: the tattoo artist who actually tattooed your name on your back, were his eyes crooked? I mean, like.
So his name is AJ.
Oh, damn, we're gonna put him out there. The crooked tattooist.
Well, I mean. But it was a great tattoo. It was my first tattoo, and he just free-handed it on me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was a Palangi guy. All my white boy friends, somebody just called me up and was like, hey, come get a tattoo. JJ got time for you, or AJ got time for you.
You're like,
and I was
sure.
like, all right, what do I need to bring? Because I got very little money. They're like, little bit of weed, some drink, and I was like, all right, cool.
And your personality, which is already winning.
He owes me.
You're like, I need a buy one, get one for all of it.
Yeah, AJ, is a great guy. Just like everybody else in the world. We're all great.
Yeah, yes, we are.
We're all fucking great. Just everybody
Priceless.
has moments. Yeah, they have moments, but we're all great. So, AJ did this tattoo
so you had
on me.
You had your back one, and then you had another tattoo. You said you had 2.
I got tattooed a little memorial piece for my mom that I got.
Rest in love.
Yeah, I was on my way to the penitentiary, and I knew it. I was on the run.
Okay.
So
and you're let me just
I was like,
have mom on my shoulder.
I got a backpack full of money. I'm like, you know what? Pulling into the tattoo shop. It was Saints and Sinners. It's right over here in Garden Grove off of Dale and Garden Grove Boulevard.
Oh, man, I love
Shout out to them, all my tattoo people.
Yeah,
The story goes on. So I pull up in there, and it was a girl named Jennifer Shishi, who is very, accomplished,
you are incredible with your memory of all the people that have come through your life. That's awesome.
Just some things I remember, and some things.
You hope you forget. I get it. I have those moments too. Okay, so she did your shoulder piece for mom.
She did my piece for my mom, and then I was in prison
for 8.5 years.
Yeah. Months. Within about 40 days from that tattoo.
Oh my gosh! And so then you're in, your new resort, and you said you started to tattoo yourself.
Well, so I'd gone through. So back to Samoan James. Samoan James. I don't know if he goes by Vigo or just James. Great guy. So he did the Samoa on my back.
Oh,
it's like,
nice.
It's the best Samoa anybody's ever seen. Needs a little touch up, but
Because it's been years,
it's
right?
been years. The ink wasn't the greatest. But so James did a tattoo on me, and I loved it. I was really hesitant to get tattooed in prison. I didn't want to get Hep
And
C.
right.
Just all
Any
kinda-
gifts you keep on, never
Yeah.
give back, right? No returns on them.
right. And then just as far as like the people, like I was on level 3 is maximum security, so we had rules. We could only get tattooed by others.
Okay.
By the others. Like
I got to
not-
learn about the others.
yeah,
That was
you-
pretty cool.
You ain't Mexican, black, or white, then you are
You're
other.
others.
So you're with us. Yeah. Do you tattoo?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I got tattooed by James. That was a wild time. We were all young, and we were in our young 20s, on a level 3 prison yard, just waiting for, the next ride, where
Right.
bus ride, whatever kind of ride,
Right.
whatever. So I got that, and then I ended up, I dropped my points after a few years, and it was 2002, I believe, that I was out on level 1 prison. And,
Okay. And so that's minimum security, right? Okay.
So this is the outside support yard. And so we're over there, and then I meet this guy. His name's D Nice. So Nice, I'm gonna put you out there.
D
Yeah,
Nice.
D Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, from Santa Ana. My man, Jamaica.
Who is
AF.
listening right
Yeah.
now?
He will. You know what? I hope he hears this, man. Part of the story. So D Nice, does his tattoo. I'd drawn this tattoo up for probably like 2-3 years.
Wow.
Just little like pieces. There's a piece from one of my cellies, Tongan cellie of mine. I just seen maybe a month ago.
Wow. And you
Yeah.
haven't seen in a while?
I've seen him
Oh,
every now and then.
okay.
Yeah, his name's Lau Unaloto Mataele. You want me to put your
Dang,
you want
putting
me to
it
put
all
your-
out there,
yeah, you want me to
government
put your-
names.
I'll put your CDC number out there
Right,
too, bro.
for real.
But so I remember we were cellies, and I'd seen this band on this pattern on him, and I was like, oh, that's super dope. So then there was this newspaper article, and it had this surfy little image. I wish I could show it to you. And it was just these big blocky lines, and it was a palm tree and a sunset, and
can
a
just picture it.
and a seagull, and these hills and a couple waves. And so I ended up putting this into a band, and I used Lao's design on the band to incorporate to just surround it.
Uh-huh.
And so then this was this thing that I'd been saving. I'd drawn it up for maybe a couple years.
Wow.
And so I had it, and then I get to this level 3 or this
Level 1, right?
and I'm just bored, and I was trying to get sent to the hole, kicked out, like send me back to a cell. Like I don't want to be over here. I'm done. I don't sleep well at night.
Oh.
All these guys. So, and all that, I ended up getting this tattoo. When he did the tattoo, I was sitting down and we put it on. When I stood up, it was just like a rainbow.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
And then it was just, it was an outline, it was jacked up. And so then there was a white boy tattooer, and I went to him, I was like, hey, Hillbilly. That was his name. I'm not.
Oh,
not
I thought you were.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was
not
like,
being
dang, that's
racist.
pretty bold.
His name was Hillbilly.
Okay.
Yeah. So Hillbilly was a tattooer for the
I
for
can't.
the woods on the yard. And I said, Hillbilly, I said, does that look fucked up? And he said, nah.
What is he supposed to
Yeah,
say, right?
exactly, right? Hey, and this is
man.
moral of the story: tattooers support tattooers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when you see somebody fuck up, like, oh, nah, they didn't fuck up. You messed up.
You moved, twitched, or
Yeah,
something,
well,
right?
Oh, that's your skin pore. Like, okay. So he told me this bullshit, and I was like, hell no.
No, this is fucked
Hell
up.
no.
Yeah.
So then I go back, this is the next day, and I go and I tell D Nice, I was like, Nice, you know what? I appreciate the effort, but I'm not like
This is not okay.
I fucked myself up. I'm gonna have to
I
cuss.
could have done this myself. Yeah, of course.
All right,
of
thank
course.
you. I like that. Yeah, so I was like, I messed myself up, and I was like, give me the machine. I didn't have
What
one.
did D Nice say to you when you said that? You're like, go ahead, fool.
I mean, obviously he was a little like, he was probably a little feelings hurt,
Right.
But I mean, we're homies, and then
He's like you could do better on yourself. Right? That's
mean,
probably what he was thinking.
I was mad too.
Aw.
Normally it's like, hey, something like that happens. It's either get your money back or hit the back wall.
Right.
And it's, it's one of my boys. And I wasn't scared to take him back wall, but I didn't want to. I was just like, dude, all right, you know.
I wish you were
This
wearing
didn't go as
shorts or an
planned.
ear right now so I could really look at
Well,
that.
I ain't
You
shy,
had
Lulu.
snaps on the side. I
shy.
knew it. I knew.
Even in my heavier days.
Oh my goodness.
So I ended up, D Nice gave me the machine, and then I ended up just finishing the tattoo myself. And then somebody rolled up to me while I was tattooing, came to get me to play basketball.
Okay.
And they're like, "Hey, what you doing, man?" I was like, "What the hell's it look like I'm doing? I'm tattooing."
Tattooing myself.
Like, you ain't got no point. I was like, "Well, you here now? Keep point. Like, come on, man, help a brother out." And he's like, "Come on, let's go play basketball." So I was like, "All right." I was struggling to do the tattoo. I'm trying to figure it out.
And that was the first time you've ever touched.
Yeah, that was the first time that I tattooed. I just tattooed myself. So I mean, that's how it should be with every tattoo artist. Like first person, nobody knows how to do it when you do it your first time. Do it on yourself. You figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew,
So
that's scary.
So then I went out, played basketball. Everybody's waiting for me. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Don't matter. What are you, the police? What question is that? And so then the next day, somebody's over here like, "Hey, who's you tattoo?" And I'm like, "Nah, man." They're like, I'm just practicing. They're like,
right.
Practice on me. And I look, and really quickly in my mind, I'm just processing all these thoughts, and I'm thinking, top ramen, roast beef cans, vittles, some nutty bars.
Right.
Yeah.
For payment, right? This is what you're looking at.
Extra jar of coffee. I'm a broke mother.
Right.
Yeah. So then I was just like, all right.
Sure, let's do
what
this.
do you want for that? Oh,
so the first thought that didn't go through your mind was what D Nice did to your leg. That's not the first thought that went through your leg.
I knew that was
going to
happen. I knew it was going to happen. I don't
Okay.
know what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
I'm figuring this out. I mean, there's so many stories after that point, Lulu, that I was just like, it didn't all go well. There was times.
No, I would have been surprised.
So and there was times where I really was just like, I had got frustrated. And I care about people when I tattoo them. I don't want them all scarred up.
Right.
Like one
and
guy,
having to do a cover up.
Yeah, and then this one guy. So this one story. I'm tattooing this little name on this dude from Mississippi. And so I'm tattooing the name. And when I go wipe the name, the whole letter folds over. So I said, "Oh, shit."
What did it spell now?
I don't,
I was going to say, did you?
It
must have been something.
Nothing.
Unfortunate blob.
It was like two parts of the letters just folded. Like the whole skin just folded. I was like, "Oh." So I wiped it back. And then
Did it go back?
Yeah, it went back. So I wiped them back in place. And then I was nervous. So nobody tattoos good when they're nervous.
Oh, God.
People, make your tattoo artist comfortable. Like just, if you want to have a good time.
If you want to have a good tattoo, make sure they're not
Just
nervous.
if you want to have a good time, make your tattoo artist comfortable.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I wiped it and I seen the letter just fold over. I said, "Oh my God." So I wiped it back, put some Vaseline on, and said, "Hey, we're done."
I'll get that top ramen now, sir. And
yeah, drop that off.
If you're feeling generous for a tip, by all means. He's like, "Oh, did he get to see it?"
Yeah, well, you know what? So then, eventually, later on down the road, it scabbed up, and then he was like, "Oh, it's all scarred up." I was like, "Oh man, what you do to it?" I'm giving away way too much info right now. But shit's changed, so we can talk about this.
Right,
stuff now. Yeah.
You're a professional now. I promise. He's a professional.
Man. You know what? I count those.
Totally, that's part of the journey. So then, have you always been an artist? Like, did you like to sketch growing up?
I think you can be an artist in multiple facets of life. I'm a creative thinker. I thought of creative ways to make money. So I've always been an artist. Artist my whole life. It's been fun.
Well, and you come from a very talented family on top of it. So
yeah.
I feel like you grew up in a family of creatives, and so it just kind of,
Yeah, I mean the first creativity I learned was like creative whoopings. It was just I never knew.
You're like dang, that's very imaginative.
Oh, you can snap my fingers and my whole hand is gonna hurt up to my armpit, and it's like wow.
Wow, you're like, this is really.
Yeah.
How many of you are there, siblings?
So for me personally, I have 10 sisters and 7 brothers.
Wow. Way to go, mom
I
and dad.
well, maybe go moms,
Moms
dad,
and dad.
moms and dad,
Yeah.
moms and dad,
Moms and dad.
and
Plural
dad.
moms.
One daddy.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the
Rolling
man. He was the
Stone.
man. Yeah.
And the
Uh,
apple didn't fall far. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, C.
you know
You
what?
claim all that's part of
Hey,
your story. I love it.
hey, you know what? I'm his favorite. You know what I mean?
He's like, I see myself in you for some reason.
He told me that. He
No,
did.
he didn't.
He did.
Oh my God, I'm
He did. You know what?
psychic.
So when I got out of prison, and I get out of prison, he
And
has
you're
this,
now almost 30 at this point.
yeah, I was 29.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm out of prison. I'm 29 years old, and a couple days after I get out, he has this, big old party at the house. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm about to come up. I have some G's. I'm gonna have something to build off of.
Right.
So nobody gives me a dime.
Oh,
Except for my older sister Patricia.
oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Patricia.
Thank you, sis. I
God.
love you. I asked for that.
She did it freely. She was reluctant to give you oh
So,
God,
yeah.
see.
So we're over there, and at the party, my dad introduced me to the bishop, of the ward at that time. We grew up, we're Mormon. And,
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, Bishop, this is my son right here. He don't listen to anybody. If
This
he
is your dad.
Yeah, it's my dad.
Oh my
Yeah, he's
God.
like, if he asks you for help and you don't help him, he's just gonna do it himself. If he just whatever he thinks he wants to do,
He's gonna
he'll
do
do
it.
it. And the bishop's over here laughing. He's like, this guy is just like me. And I looked at him. I said, all those ass beatings for what?
For what? Because there's something you didn't like in
Because I'm
yourself?
incredible too.
I'm your favorite for real? Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I took that. I laughed. We had that exchange.
Your
I looked at him.
moments.
Yeah, it was fun. So he was a great guy. He was, I mean, from what I've learned now, he was abusive.
Wasn't every Samoan parent, I swear, if
Thank
we
you.
had to define abuse in Samoa, it's like, that's normal childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some people need to be a little beat up a little more, honestly.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it did good for me. I don't know. I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for that guy and him in my life. And and even when I went to prison, he was the only one writing me, visiting me, sending me money. Like I'll call him, and be like, "Dad, put me a package together." He was like,
Aw.
go buy me fried days, smiling fish, sardines, and he would fill my box up. I'd be like, "Dad, I want that zest, that not the green one. I want
Wow.
one
So
like the
dad was
coast."
there.
Yeah, he was there. He's super dope. And it was so in the story of me tattooing when I got out of prison, at the time I got out, I decided like, hey, I'm gonna pursue professional tattoo. I'd met somebody in prison. His name's Rob Hill. He owns Ventura Tattoo and Piercing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, great guy, awesome guy, very very white.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm half white.
Yeah.
So we identified.
You're like, the half of me, I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
I can
The other
relate.
half, I don't know what you guys are doing over here. But Rob Hill was an amazing guy, and
So did he already have Ventura tattoo and piercings before he was in?
No, but we were all locked up. He had tattooed professionally before.
Wow, before
he was in prison.
Okay.
And then and we were all.
So was he kind of like a mentor to you in prison?
He was one of my very first tattoo mentors.
Nice.
And I'd seen these guys making needles on top of a bunk while I was with OKT.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. How
So-
it comes full circle.
Yes, exactly. So I'm with KT, and we're at this bunk. We got these white boy bunkies next to us. We're in the back. KT, he's an impressive individual.
Right.
And,
Yes,
and-
he
and
is.
behind the walls, even more so. So, we're on the back wall, and then I remember I'm over. This is my second day over on the yard, and I'm over here. I'm eating my lunch, and these white boys show up. Our neighbor is this big 6'7",
Jesus.
fed white boy, bald head, penile skinhead, and so they doing all their their things, all their
White is right.
yeah, and I'm over here,
Meetings.
I'm just watching. Yeah, dude, this is this is the professor right here. Easy tell you something to do, you're gonna do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise you're about to get ragged down and maybe thrown over the fence. And then,
Seriously.
whatever after
I think
that.
it just sit on you. Jeez.
And so I watched Rob come over and I watched him do this tattoo, and I sat there and I was eating lunch. He did the tattoo in 45 minutes. It was, I don't want to describe it in depth because it was a very
Explicit tattoo?
it was
It was 45 minutes and it was a tattoo that maybe is
it was-
controversial?
yeah, it would be controversial. It would
Okay.
be something, with the lifestyle.
Okay.
So I watched Rob do this tattoo, and I'm just amazed. He does his tattoo in 45 minutes. The softness of the shading, just how quick and efficient he was with it.
And it
I'm
looked
like,
great.
Yeah, and so then I'm like, damn, I'm watching that, and then they come over like an hour later, and they're making needles. So then I'm like, oh, let me grab another bag lunch. I got another extra one over here. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching these guys make needles, and as I'm watching them, he's trying to tell these guys how to make needles, and they're just a couple of donkeys, They
Yeah.
just couldn't figure it out. So I'm watching, and I'm just in my, my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, they're a couple of idiots. Like, this is
He's
childhood.
literally spelling it out for you and you
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
And so they left, and I made 5 needles. They were like,
And this is just off of you watching, not even with any instruction from him personally.
yeah. So I just watched them, and then so I made 5 needles, and then I took it over to him. I said, because I had the needles, but I didn't know how to make the tube. or the
Okay, got
tip.
it. So where actually the ink comes out, right?
Well,
Or
to put the whole contraption together.
okay.
So where the ink comes out. So I didn't know how to make a tip for that, because with a single needle, we would just use what we had. We just clear a pen tip and you use that. But with this, it needed to be bigger. And so I went over there and I showed him the needles. I was like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I watched you make these, and
Here are mine.
check these out. Are these good? So this dude, we're in prison. He's got an eye loop. He's got a little magnifying glass.
Wow.
And he's checking these needles out. And he's like, after the third one, he looks up. He's like, "You made these?"
Wow.
And I was like, "Yeah."
It's like, are they good or?
Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck." He's like, "You watched me do this shit for 15 minutes, and you made these needles, and I've been trying to teach these jackasses for 2 weeks how to make me needles." And so I'm smiling inside,
You're like,
but
hey.
we're in prison, so I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like, I do
Yeah.
needles
And
on my
so,
sleep.
He's over there and he's looking
And that's
at
your
him.
first encounter
Yeah,
together.
this is my first encounter. So I said, "Hey," I'm like, "Look, all these 5 needles, you can keep them. Those are yours." He's like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know how to make a tip."
He's like, these obviously are
Yeah.
useless.
Yeah, I don't give. What am I gonna do with them? I'm watching. I was like, how do I make the rest of this? So he just, he shook his head and he's like, "All right," and he showed me, and it was literally 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, okay, get an empty pen tube, and we'd blow all the ink out of the pen tube, and then he was just like, get the lighter, and he would light it and just get it soft, and then you would pull it apart, and then it would just naturally taper, and then you would just cut it at an angle,
And that's how you created the tube.
and you had the tube.
Holy
And it was
cow.
just, I mean, innovation at its finest. It was just,
well, you use what you got, right? You have to get creative.
So he showed me that, and I was just like, oh my goodness. And we became really good friends, from there. He tattooed me in prison.
Wow.
And, with the Samoans, we don't run with the blacks, but we roll with them. Like, like we on the basketball table, we'll eat, we'll eat with you. We're our side of the day room. That's where we're at. We program, with the brothers. That's just where we're comfortable. And so with the white boys and the Mexicans, it was a big taboo for them to
see
overdo business with us, and then for them to tattoo us at the time.
It's almost like a claiming.
Well, there was an older philosophy where we were others and we're neutral, which we truly are.
You were Switzerland.
Yes. So we will mess with anybody, but and what's going on now in the penitentiary, there's the politics is just deep, and so we were by the white boys and the Mexicans, we're just piled up with the blacks, and then so they're like, oh, they can't do business with them either.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and especially tattooing. But Rob was just like, hey, bro, I'm a other, and we had a good friendship, and so I was like, tattoo me. He was like, and I was like, hey, if something happens, like, I got you.
Right.
You know,
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome.
So I mean, I'm gonna, I'm gonna tell Rob, watch this. I love that guy. I love that guy. Thank you, Rob Hill. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was
Wow,
my
the
first
starts.
tattoo mentor, and after that, I got out and.
And you're like, I'm gonna take this seriously. I want to
Yeah,
be a tattooist.
I want to be a tattooer.
Tattoo artist. Mm-hmm.
And I had a Vietnamese friend who used to come sit on my bunk every evening. It was about, I would say, 3 to 5 nights a week for 18 months. My last 18 months, he would sit down. He would, every like last count, he would be like, "Hey," he would tell me like this, "Hey, Ufa."
Oh, first name basis then.
Yeah, right. We were close friends. "Hey, Ufa, what are you gonna do when you get out?" And I sit there, and this little Vietnamese guy, and I'm like, "Oh my God,
Like, leave me alone.
I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna find me a 25-year-old Samoan girl. I'm gonna start having kids. I'm gonna start tattooing professionally, and I'll try to open my own shop." And this
Nice.
is just,
You already had your life plan after.
So that was my mantra, you know.
Post.
Yeah, for for years, and then I got out, and this shit happened.
You spoke it into existence.
Yeah, it was the wildest thing. You know, so I was amazed. I didn't know shit about shit, you know. So I got
But
out.
like your dad said, you're gonna do it. If nobody's gonna help you, you're gonna find a way and you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
And you
but,
did it.
Yeah, but that was I think that was next level. Somebody I was telling my story one night. You know, I talk a lot. So everybody's heard this. And I was telling my story, and then somebody was like, "Hey, have you ever read that book, The Secret?"
Oh yes, I was
Yeah.
just about to say The Secret.
Yeah, and so I was
Oh.
like, "No, I haven't." And they're like, "That sounds just like it." So then I ended up looking into it, and it was like, your words are
They hold power. Yeah.
They hold power. They drive you. They'll push you into your next steps in life. So
And so that really did happen for you. So
Yeah.
the first things that happened when you came out though was it in that order that you were spitting out to your Vietnamese friend?
everything.
So
Everything. Yeah, it was the craziest thing. I got out. Well, I got out and I started tattooing professionally.
wait, I thought you found the 25-year-old Samoan girl and had
No,
kids.
I
Okay, that
started
was later.
Yeah, I started tattooing professionally. I found the 25-year-old Samoan girl 4 months later.
Oh, okay.
At
okay.
my first tattoo at my first tattoo convention.
Wow.
Yeah, so and then through her I have 4 beautiful kids.
Oh,
And
gorgeous.
Yeah, the beginning of the
of your legacy.
yeah, I'm calling it 8, probably going on 9 now.
Nice. So 8-ish, 9-ish. Okay.
It's like one of those TV shows they got. Yeah. People
Yes, there's
understand
like
this stuff.
8+.
Yeah. So
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, you spoke it into existence. That was what part of the plan. So you got that going on. So you started tattooing professionally. Where was the first place that you went to go be a professional tattooist?
So my first job was for Lowrider Tattoo 3. And
Is that local here in Southern California?
Yeah, they were there. The shop's not around anymore. I believe it's called Cali Life Tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Costa Mesa. It's right off the 55 in Isabella. And I was at a tattoo supply store, for my first time. I was like, I think I was
a
day
kid
like
in a candy
day
store.
5 out of prison. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at these display cases, and I'm just like, wow, look at all this stuff. And I
that
was
we
like,
had to make by
yeah,
hand.
and then I was like, "There's all this stuff I don't even have. I don't know where half this stuff is." And this young kid comes walking in, and he's like, "Are you guys artists?" And I was there with one of my friends, and I turn around. I'm like, of course, I'm like, yes. So he gives me this,
Mr. Artist to
yeah.
you.
So he gives me this flyer, and he's like, "We're looking for artists over here at this shop." And so then I'm just like, I mean, it was one of those things like, I ended up taking this flyer home, and I remember just sitting at my dad's house. I'm fresh out of prison. I've been out of prison
Right.
for 4 or 5 days. And so, I'm sitting here, I'm on the couch, just, looking out the window, just looking at the
The flyer.
this flyer. And I'm like, what do I do? So I call down there, and I'm like, hey, I got a flyer. This guy said you're looking for artists, and I'm an artist. So you want me to come in? And the manager, his name's Geronimo Rivera's, who would be my second mentor in the industry. He owns Fastlane Tattoo in Corona now.
Wow.
Jerry, what's
that is
up?
so
Love you, baby.
awesome.
Never forget nothing. So, I call over there, and he's like, I'm talking to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're looking for artists over here. We're a new shop. We just opened up. So come on down, bring your portfolio." And I'm just talking. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, all right." Hang up the phone, and I'm sitting there. This is pre-Google.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh shit. So you got no
we got AOL. That's it. AOL,
dial up,
MySpace.
baby.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I'm still
man.
looking at fucking encyclopedias.
Oh shit.
So he's like, "Bring your
Like
portfolio."
library card.
I don't even know what a portfolio is. I was just like,
You're like,
so
yeah,
I,
sure. I'm gonna bring that.
I was yeah,
Fake it till you make it.
right. So I'm sitting there. I was sitting on the couch, right in front of this picture window at my dad's house. Once again, just contemplating all of life, and I'm like, how do I find out what a portfolio is? Right.
I'm sure Dad would have known, right? You're like, hey, Dad.
Right. Well, he was at work. He was driving his bus.
Oh, okay.
So like just got my balls together and made a mind, and I called back and I was like, "Hey, bro, look, this is the story. I just got out of prison." He's like, "How much time you did?" I was like, "I just did 8.5." He's like, "How long you been out?" I was like, "Well, 4 days."
Fresh, real
Yeah.
fresh.
And I'm like, "But check it out." So I go in, I'm like, "Hey, I've been tattooing the pen. I got drawings. I know I can tattoo. I can draw. I know this. But I don't know what a portfolio is."
Was he dying?
Yeah, he was. He's like,
Oh my
he's like, "Hey, homie." He's an essay guy.
Okay.
And it's hey, I love all people. It don't matter. And that's one of the most beautiful things after my experience coming out is like I learned take everybody.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Well, no, take everybody at their person. People have a lot of labels. And like the label of race and ethnicity, we can't shake it,
Right.
but like everybody's their own person, and so I called back and this, Jerry told me that, and he was like, "You know what?" He's like, "I did 12 years in the penitentiary." He's like, "I know where you're coming from." He's like, "Yeah, portfolio is all your tattoos, like pictures of your tattoos," and I'm like, "Well, I just got out of the pen, but I got drawings." And so he's like, "Well, bring him down. We'll see, And so I bring him down. I show him my stuff. And he's like, "I tell you what, bring somebody in, do a tattoo on him. Let me watch it. And then I'll decide whether I'm going to give you a job or not." And that was, led up to my first job. And
So who was your first victim at your...
so that's another interesting. That guy comes with so much. Is one of my good friends. His name is Brian Heathcote.
He was like your walking portfolio at this point, right?
He still is. I mean, he's got a few tattoos from me.
I love
yeah,
it.
It is one of my boys from. We grew up together. We used to surf, and we're running around and doing all kinds of wild stuff.
Oh.
And he's one of my favorite people on this earth, and a very good friend. Still tattoos. He has his own shop. Ashes to Ink.
Hey.
Yeah, Ashes to Ink in Anaheim.
We've mentioned everyone's shop except for yours.
A-Town Tattoo,
Hey,
baby.
that's what I'm talking about. And how long has A-Town been around?
So we just made 13 years in March.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys are a teenager now.
We
and
are.
that comes with growing pains, obviously.
Yeah.
What were some of the challenges when you were starting A-Town?
Really, I mean, challenges in my own mind, like what I seen then, or challenges like when and now
All of
looking back, it's just like my biggest challenge was family time and like that.
Kind of balancing.
Yeah,
It was a balancing act.
But my wife at the time, Flo, I told her, I was like, "Hey, I need 3 to 5 years that I'm gonna grind right here. I gotta go hard in the paint.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be working 14, 18, hour days, and that's what I did.
Wow.
And I think when I first opened the shop, one of the things I told the owner of the shop that I left is like, I'm gonna make a place that people want to come and work.
Yeah.
And it's been like that ever since.
And it's been the same location this whole
Yep.
time? That's amazing.
12776 Brooker Street,
Oh,
Garden Grove, California.
Island Block Radio, we've had some projects there. Thanks to you for providing the venue for us to have our, our growth as well. So we've been together for a long time.
We have been.
Yes, we have been. That's so awesome. So then A-Town started, and were you the only artist, or you brought artists with you?
Oh no, it was a existing shop and I bought it.
Okay.
So
awesome.
it came with artists.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was already half the battle. Thank
They
goodness.
all got fired. Lulu. I fired
You're like, no.
I probably like that first group. I fired all of them probably a couple times.
They just kept coming back.
Well, I mean,
you're like, oh shit. After your shift, you're fired.
Well, you know what? So the first thing I learned when you fire everybody, right?
Right.
First thing I learned when you fire everybody, you're the only one working there. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, man, I fired everybody and I'm going to work the next day.
You're like, oh damn.
By my damn self.
And I've got 12 appointments. So how am I going to do this?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it was wild. I don't work that hard anymore.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Well,
after 13 years, I would hope not. My goodness.
I mean, you got to keep working hard. Hard work has, that your work regimen, just
your system, right? You got to keep it up and running.
Yeah, your portfolio,
You got to keep your portfolio fresh.
Fresh, like
add some new pages.
Yeah. But you got to work every day. If you're an entrepreneur, you work every day. You work harder, and then if you're not working harder, you better be working smarter.
Yeah.
And so it's one of the two,
and it takes special people actually to be an entrepreneur and to be your own boss, because
100%.
You have to be accountable for yourself, and damn, not a lot of people can be accountable for themselves.
Let me tell you, it's easy to put blame on everybody else. It's so easy.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
and then you're like looking at yourself in the mirror, you're like, shit.
Hey, you know what? But
you got
fake it till
it.
you make it.
Totally. Now when did the Samoan or Polynesian tattoos come into your life? Because even though we're Pacific Islander, that kind of wasn't your first kind of introduction to tattoos.
You sound like you've heard this story before.
Yes. Oh, I sure have.
Yes, you're
I
very
saw
correct.
it in the process.
You're very correct. My first love of tattooing was black and gray. It was realism. And so it wasn't until I got home and then I told my family at a family function. I was like, hey, I'm tattooing. Like, y'all hit me up. You want some ink? I'll do it.
Right.
And they were like, we'll wait for you to get paid.
We'll see your portfolio first, and then we'll talk about it, right? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so...
I love how, of course, it's family and friends. Like,
yeah, family. My family turned me down first,
Talk to me in a couple of years.
Hey, you know what? All of you know who was in the room. It was, I got out December 27th. That was our New Year's Eve, January of 2006. Family, you know who you are.
You know who didn't give me a chance.
Yeah, some of them in that room, they ended up like, bringing their kids in and coming in. Not all of them though, and but yeah, so then my family came in. They wanted Samoan tattoos. We're Samoan,
right? And you were like,
I was yeah. Exactly.
You're more into realism.
Like
you're more into
no. I mean, at this time we got the internet.
Oh, okay, true.
Right. So I'm looking up. I think it was, I don't know if it was AOL or. Excuse me, or Yahoo, or just Yahoo, these search
engines, right?
And so I'm looking up Samoan tattoos, and at this time, this is 2006. There ain't shit on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it was all Fred Frost. Fred Frost,
hey.
Frost City Tattoo, Utah.
So frosty.
Yeah, so frosty, crispy. I love that guy. He's an amazing artist.
He is.
And so, at the time, you started looking up, and I'm looking up Polynesian Samoan tattoos. there ain't nothing.
Right.
You know, not now. Like when you look it up and it's just everybody's tattoos. You know, the
But
most
that's thanks
dopest
to
tattoos.
all of the tattoo artists who are becoming more known, you know, in
Yeah,
our community.
it's the early work. You know, it's the work of Fred Frost. You know, of
Kind of paved the
of
way for
Kavika,
everybody.
of Sefo Mikaele. You know that this guy. I don't. Do you know that guy from Carson? He's a machine tattooer. He's a Songhai Mickey. And
Oh, yes, yes.
yeah, Sefo.
So he was also had his work on there in the early times?
Well, I think just you know, in those at that time when I would talk to other Samoan people and be like, "Hey, who are the good Samoan tattooers?" And it was these guys' names coming up.
And there was very few.
Yeah,
right.
there was very few. And so then also there was, you know, when you started looking on the internet, and then a lot of the stuff I seen was, you know, Patricia Allen, or it would just, you know, be some old some book with some Samoan tattoos and these pictures, and there was no. So I was.
So then there was really no detail. So you're trying to
so
figure out.
I'm copying triangles and diamonds and trying to put this all together.
Like I think this looks like a wave.
Yeah,
maybe.
like the waves, like tons of waves. You know, follow patterns. You know, just like a turtle, definitely.
Totally.
So you know, fish. Oh, and so you know, we're doing all these things. We're just copying them. When I look at, you know, my work that I did then, I'm just like, oh, shame. Like shame. Like, don't
She
tell
get locked
anybody.
up again.
Yeah. But, you know, so it was going through that. My family was asking me for Samoan tattoos. And then somebody had said to me, his tattoos are really nice, but it's not Samoan. And I had gotten to this thing where I was like, well, I'm a Samoan, so if I do a tattoo, it's a Samoan tattoo.
Right?
Right. That's how Samoans think. That
Absolutely.
Is, yeah.
I mean, just ask a Samoan where Samoa came from. They're like, from Samoa.
Yeah.
Like, Samoa was been there from the beginning of time.
Yes. Do you need me to make up more of this story? Yes. I don't know the whole thing, but I know my whole thing.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, so I was like, oh, that's a Samoan tattoo.
And so that kind of stuck with you?
Yeah, so that it wasn't, you know, and I was just like, you know, people are like, oh, he does nice tattoos, but it's not a Samoan tattoo, and it just
started
resonated.
eating at you.
Yeah, you know, and I kept thinking about it, and I'm like, how do I figure this out? And I'm looking on the internet. I was talking to Micah Tangaloa, who used to work, he used to work for Mel when, you know, with Motiki's barbecue. People. I mean, hey, you know what?
Yums.
Am I getting some sponsorship money over there for this?
Seriously.
So
we've been looking for you this whole time.
Motiki's barbecue, Fullerton, Anaheim, Las Vegas.
What's your favorite dish at Motiki's?
Oh, the dinosaur bones. Like I gotta have them ribs.
I didn't even finish the question. You're like dinosaur bones.
Yeah, the brontosaurus ribs.
Woo,
those ribs are
delicious.
they're just amazing. You know, oh my gosh.
I see Joe salivating over there. So we're talking about dinosaur bones.
Yes. Don't make fun of my man.
That's my boy, of course. He's the original dinosaur bone over there.
Oh goodness. Yeah, so Micah Tangaloa, he was working for Mel at the time. Working in the back, cooking, mixing the potato salad. And I reached out to my family, and then I had reached out to Mel at one point, and Mel was like, "Oh yeah, this guy Micah Tangaloa, he draws, he knows a lot about the Samoan art." So I used to go
like authentic, like real.
Yeah, so I used to go and I would go to Motiki's, and I'll go and just hang out with Micah in the back, and he'd be sketching on a little his little sketch pad and talking to me, and I'll be asking him like, "What's that design? What's that?" So then I was, that began my journey of trying to learn. And then in 2008, it was the first convention I did on my own under my own shop name, and it was
that's exciting.
Yeah, so it was a music tattoo, Ink and Music Festival in Costa Mesa.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was the first one over there, and I'm over there, and I have my booth, and then I'm walking around on Thursday on setup day, and I'm just walking the aisles, just like, man, I'm doing this on my own. I'm excited, and here I turn a corner, and I see this old guy in the Ia Lava Lava walking around with this guy with dreadlocks. And I'm just like, that's interesting. We're at
You know,
this.
this is an event, right?
Yeah,
Like,
this is like, this is a, and you think, tattoo convention is just, you know, it's Palangis and Mesco, and that was, the white and Mexican artists took up a majority of,
what the tattoo
yeah,
conventions.
of the conventions. And so this convention, I'm walking around, I see this guy named Lava Lava, and I'm walking behind him, and then I'm trying to figure out who the hell is he.
And you're like,
So
Uncle?
then I watch, yeah, I watch him turn one of the aisles, and then I get a side profile, and I'm like, I think that's a SULU'APE. That's one of these guys I've seen on documentaries, and so then I'm over here and I'm following, and then one of my good friends, his name's JJ from Players Club Tattoo, Players Club in Huntington Beach, California. Yeah, so
You are magnificent, man. Can
Yes.
you give them some sponsors, just
hey,
royalties,
everybody,
free artwork?
yeah, everybody, my Venmo at CE Liufau. Anyways, so
So
I'm-
you're
so at this
following, you're
time-
stalking him at this point.
Yeah, and then I'm walking. I'm kind of like, I know I'm going for it. I know that there's no way I'm passing up this opportunity. And then my buddy JJ from Players Club, who he was working for Jack Rudy at Tattoo Land, Anaheim, California. Honestly, that is the dopest shop in all of fucking California. Jack Rudy is, is above the people above.
He is the standard.
Yeah, he is the standard. He's an amazing individual. So I'm walking with JJ pulls up next to me, and he's like, "Do you know who that is?" And I'm like, "I think so." He's like, "That's your people. That's
Your
SULU'APE."
people.
He's like, he's like, "You gotta go introduce it." And I'm like, in my mind, he's telling me all this. I'm like, JJ, I'm formulating this whole plan in my mind right now. So
Trying to come up with my speech on
Yeah,
how I'm gonna meet this
yeah,
dude.
JJ is the guy that tells me, like, did you appease the tattoo gods this month?
Aw.
Have you gotten tattooed in the last 30 days? And so, he's one of those, he's a purist. So he's telling me, he's like, dude, go talk to him. And so finally
You
I
circled around.
circled
followed
around,
him
and
along.
I was walking with my first wife, Flo, the mother of my kids, wonderful lady. And, we're talking. She's Samoan as well. And she's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I
Moment
gonna
of
do?
truth.
Yeah. I'm going to go tell him, like, I want you to tattoo me right here. And I'm going to watch you tattoo. I'm going to learn how you do this. And that's exactly what I did. And looking back at it, it's like the most conceited.
I'm surprised
like,
you didn't tattoo your face. He's
Dude.
like, "Oh, I'll show you where I'm tattooing you."
I've encountered a lot of discouragement about that, Lulu. I'm down. Like, especially, I get in a bad mood, I'll be like, tattooing this face, all tattooed.
Oh, tattoo. Okay, so you
Yeah.
went up and they probably just really appreciated your candor. They're like,
Oh,
"What's that,
hell no!
balls for days?"
You know that old man.
Oh,
Yeah, balls for days. All right, let's step on these. So we were over there, and I told him, I was like, I want to get tattooed by you, and he just laughed. Introduced him. Hey, my name is Alafia Liufau. I think I'm Samoan. We're born and
Right.
raised over here in the States, but you're a real Samoan,
Right.
and you do real Samoan tattoos. And so he was there with Isaiah Toy 2, Soul Signature Tattoo, Hawaii. That's-
Oh, dude, this is why I love Everyone Loves Lulu. This is what you
Yes.
see is what you get.
Yes, it's a big family.
I love it.
So we're over there that weekend, and I go and I try to approach the old man and ask him, hey, I want my tatao. Like, I want you to put those tools on me. I need to feel this. I need this. And he's just like, oh,
He's like, "You're adorable."
I'm not tattooing this weekend. Only Isaiah's tattooing, and it's only his tools. If there's time, I was like, I need to get tattooed by you. I need your touch.
And he's just laughing at you.
Yeah, laughing. This is Thursday night. So this convention, as all of them go, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday, I show up, go Samoa, Pangipopo.
Oh, Yum.
Just here,
Damn, I'm getting
take
really
my
hangry right now.
Yeah, I'm taking my follow. Alo
Yes.
now just hey, you know what? Let me do my
Size 2? Come on.
Make sure you see me. I'm asking for something.
Right.
So I go and I do that Friday, and then I'm tattooing. This is my first convention, so I'm trying to make my money back. I got all these financial burdens on me that I'm trying to handle, but I'm like, I'll leave all of it to get this right here. So Friday night, nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Is he even not trying to look at you? He's like avoiding you like the plague.
And he's not
He's like,
avoiding.
eh.
You can't avoid me. I'm up in your face. I'm talking to you like, hey.
He's avoiding you
time
to
for
your
me today?
face. He's just like, eh.
He's like, oh, no time today.
You again.
Yeah. So then Saturday, I said, all right, Saturday, I'm going to step it up a little bit. We're going to bring, so I think Saturday we brought pangipopo, kokusamoa, falawa. Then I brought, maybe a little bit of light lunch, a little bit of mamoe and some kalo.
Just some light lunch.
Yeah, just say for your
Some
day. It's a long day over here. Nobody likes this.
Masima, just the
nobody
light
likes
stuff.
This convention. That was Sunday.
Oh,
yeah. So I was like,
jeez.
nobody likes this convention food. So here, make sure you're taking care of them, man.
Right.
So.
Because you're a long way from home,
Yeah,
so I gotta make sure you're okay.
Yes, kausa makua, just doing all those things. So
Oka so falaka.
yes, I'm doing my best. I'm a good falaka too.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Except for people when they know me, then they're like, "Hey, you're doing that falaka. Get out of here."
I know it.
Yeah.
I know you're doing it. So
So-
falaka is, for a loose term for brown noser.
Yes, brown nose. So then Sunday comes. So Saturday night, I didn't get a tattoo. Sunday's the last day of the convention. I didn't know. I just thought at the end of the convention on Sunday, this guy's gonna disappear
Yes.
into his
Little shell.
genie bottle. And he's be gone. He's out of my
He's gonna
reach.
ride his 2 big turtles
So
out
this
of
is
there.
this is my last day, and I'm just like I remember I was telling my.
Were you getting discouraged, or were you just even more motivated?
Well,
and
I mean,
inspired?
yes. I mean, yes, and
And
yes.
Mhm.
So what happens when you get discouraged? Either you give up or you try harder.
Right.
Yeah. So
and so I know you. You're the try harder guy. Never fail. Not even a
Never.
question in my mind.
yeah, I ain't taking no. I'm gonna
Defeat is not an option.
At this time, I didn't even know at this point that I would have followed him back to Samoa.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
commitment.
Exactly.
Woo.
I was going there. So on Sunday, I'm like, oh, I don't get a tattoo on Friday. I don't get a tattoo on Saturday. So on Sunday, I break out the works. Sapasui, Bovi Masima, Galo,
Did you get boa?
Falefafa'i, yeah, Boa'a,
Dang.
everything. So I lay out, they got a bunch of my lay everything.
Wait, little did you know he just wanted some American food.
Oh no, he didn't.
He's like ice cream,
You know
some
him.
donut, yeah.
No,
for
you
sure.
know him.
He's
He
like,
ain't
oh,
about
this
that.
is it.
Yeah, I need that in
I
my
need
life.
my home food.
Yeah. So, on Sunday, and I go and I
You
didn't,
brought kongai.
yeah,
you brought the
and
feast.
I didn't want to bother him, and we were busy, So I finished that day, and then I had met another person that weekend who is also he was, I'll put him out. He's my third mentor in this industry. SULU'APE Steve Looney, Pacific Soul Tattoo, Hawaii.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yes. That's the one, that's my favorite. If I get tattooed, I get tattooed. Pacific Soul Tattoo in Hawaii. So
And it's a nice ambiance too, and on
yeah,
the island,
well,
how you can't beat
yeah.
it.
And so he ended up being two booths down from me. I didn't know until Sunday, and I'm over here, I'm talking to him. And well, no, I met him on Saturday night. And then on Sunday again, we're over here and I'm just talking to him. Steve's hard to get to know. Steve don't let you in quick. He's just like, guy. So, and I remember I was over here and I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get tattooed by the old man. And Steve already had his bit at that time.
Mhm.
So, he's confident. Steve,
He's
like,
cracking up at you like, oh please,
you
this
little
guy.
bitch. You little bitch.
He's like, oh, you brought all the goodies, huh?
Oh, look at
Still
you.
ain't gonna
You
get
didn't bring
tattooed.
me shit. That's why you're not getting tattooed.
Right. Should
Yeah.
have gone through the back door, side door,
I
you know?
could have got you in, but no, you want to die like the rest. So, yeah.
So it's all done now.
So yeah, the convention. I'm done tattooing. I closed it up. I'm done tattooing, and I'm over here. I'm talking to people. The convention's closing. The convention's closed at 6. It's like 7. And I'm just like,
You guys are all just packing up.
I'm pissed off. I was.
You're like, I got supper sui,
Well,
freaking
it wasn't even. It was. It was. I
How
feel
humbling was that?
I
though?
feel ashamed to say pissed off, but I was
You were
disappointed,
frustrated.
you know, and I was just, I'm trying for this, and I was talking to
And
this
we
guy,
got no play.
yeah, and I was talking to this guy Corey Ferguson. I don't know your shop from Canada, Corey, but Corey is an amazing artist. Maybe he's been tattooing probably 30 years now, and he does a lot of our motifs like in a style. He doesn't tattoo our
And
work.
so he's known for that.
Yeah, so you know, and I was talking to him, and then somebody came running up to me, and they're like, "Hey, the old man wants you." You
Did
know what?
poor Corey just like in mid sentence? You're all like,
Boom! Bye, Corey Ferguson.
from Canada somewhere, whatever.
Dude, I've been following this guy, see his work in tattoo magazines, and just like, you know, I mean, just there's so many inspirations and
Right,
and
he's
the-
got
yeah.
30 years under his belt.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could learn something.
Shoot later.
Dropped him like a bad habit.
Yeah.
The disrespect,
Yeah,
see.
I'm
Jeez.
out. So I mean, you know, and then I hear I'm going over, and there, you know, from where Corey Ferguson's booth was, and then there was Kat Von D. She had her booth
Oh
right
my
here.
God. She's definitely
Don't
a wet
get
dream
me
for me.
started.
I
So Kat Von D, whatever.
need a
So
moment.
yeah, her
No.
you're done.
Okay.
So her booth was over here, but the old man was straight across from Corey Ferguson. And then one of the boys came over. They came and got me. They're like, "Hey, the old man wants you." And I was just like, "Yeah." So I mean,
Did you follow him right there and then?
no, you know what? I remember one of my talking friends in first grade, right? And we're in first grade, and this guy was like every first grade, the principal calls your name on your birthday and calls you
Yes.
to the office, you know. And so, Society Tamoy Falau. Society Tamoy Falau. If you're out there.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
So this guy,
Nobody's safe. Okay.
Nobody.
When CE's on the mic.
So we're in first grade, and I remember me and Society, we're classmates. Society's crying all day. Remember that, Society? Crying about your birthday. They didn't
You're
call
gonna
you
need
to
to
the.
come on Everyone Loves Lulu to corroborate this story.
I will. You know,
So
validation.
Society was a
Yeah. So
crying all the
Society's
time.
crying in class, and then you know we hear on the loudspeaker maybe like 15 minutes before that day of school is over. Society Tamoy Falau report to the principal's office.
that's when everybody's like, ooh.
But they didn't say it. They was like so sorry you are.
Oh, just butchering it.
Moifolau.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But his name's Societo Moifolau. And so, man, I remember this guy. He just, when they called his name, he jumped up. Tears just evaporated off of his face.
Oh, because they call you
Yeah.
Pepelo.
Yeah, and he's running down the aisle. Society was a couple seats over from me. He's running down to the front of the aisle. Boom, turns, books it towards the door. And I just remember when he hit the door, he jumped up, clicked his heels.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's like Dorothy.
Yeah,
Were you-
just jumped up, clicked his heels out the door, boom, bent it, and he came back, had his little basket, you know.
For his birthday, because he knew it was his
with
birthday.
tears gone, you know. That's how I felt. That's how
So
I
that's
felt.
exactly what you did.
Yeah, I did. I jumped up. I do that a lot. You know, I jump up, I click my heels when I'm happy and I need to get somewhere, so I jump up, click my heels, ran
Wait,
over there.
still now? No ankle
Yeah,
issues,
no,
knee
oh,
issues?
no,
Oh,
no,
you
no,
still
no,
get
I
air?
got it. I got it.
Okay.
I get air. I got that, Lulu.
I love it. I
Yes.
love it. I can't wait to see it.
All
I
right.
need proof for the promo.
Yes, we'll do this. We
Okay.
might have to do it outside. Space is very limited. In
Oh,
here.
yeah. Uh-huh. If you need any assistance, Joe got you.
Thank you, Joe. Wonderful.
So, okay, you clicked your heels. You're about to go see.
Yeah, so then I run over there and I just, boom, I stick out my arm. And he's like, "You did not even shave." And I was just like, "Oh, shit." run back to my station, shaving my arm, probably nicked it a couple
I was
times.
about to say, there goes the skin.
And so then I run back and I get my tatao from SULU'APE a Patello.
Wow.
And when he caught me, it was it was uh oh my goodness.
You've remembered everything up to this point.
It was Anu and Lopeti that stretched for my tattoo.
Okay.
So and Anu, that was the beginning of my relationship with Anu. And Anu, I mean, at that time, this is 2006, and Anu he was over there, he was coaching for Isaiah, and Anu's an amazing, he's a composer, he's a musician. Uh, I mean, the things he's done with Boog and with, I mean, you know very well who Anu is, just an amazing person, and he was coaching for my tattoo.
Wow.
And now, like, looking back at it now,
Just how.
yeah,
Aw.
and it's just like
Everything that had to
every
happen.
every time
and-
I see that guy, it's just there's something special there, and Lopetti, he's Isaiah's nephew, and it was his apprentice, and they coached him for my arm, and I laid there, and the old man, yelled at me, stop moving.
Because that was the first time you've actually got God the traditional way. And how was that?
I was cakewalk. Yeah, easy.
So you were like Sosaya and crying the whole time.
Oh, tears of joy. Tears of joy.
You're like, don't get it twisted.
Yes.
I'm real manly right now.
Tears of joy. Yes.
How long did it take?
Oh, it took that guy maybe a couple hours.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was special for me. It was that was that. It might have been that was the first music tattoo convention, and it was the last tattoo done at the convention. It was
You closed out the day.
I closed out the whole weekend.
So cool.
Yeah, and so then after that, I was just like,
This is what I'm going to do.
I'm at your mercy. So
Your humble servant.
Yes,
Let me wash your feet.
I'll do it. And so I was like, hey, how long you guys in town for? I want to come over and hang out. So I got invited. That was Sunday. So I got invited to come hang out on Tuesday.
Okay.
What's wrong with Monday?
They needed a break from you.
No, Lulu.
They needed a full
No.
24 hours of no CE, okay?
So,
They're like, could you
yeah.
just give us a moment to breathe? You're a
Yeah.
lot, which is a good thing. So they probably,
You
I'm
made
just
me
letting
feel
it.
something.
You're like, I've always
Some kind of
wondered
way.
why they didn't invite me on Monday. I'm telling you right now. They want to be the star of
Yeah,
the
they
show
skipped
too.
Monday. I missed Monday. Whatever you guys did on Monday,
It wasn't as cool
I
as
still
Tuesday.
haven't heard about it. Well, Tuesday I got denied. Yeah, so Tuesday.
I thought you were invited on Tuesday,
I think I got invited,
but you got denied.
and then when I got there, I put out my petition, and I got denied. And so
Dang,
and funny,
cold-blooded.
before I left to come over here, I was with Seymour Kaniho Lindsay. Seymour Kaniho Lindsay, A-Town Tattoo. Shout out for you, bro. So we're over there, and Seymour, we end up being over this Tuesday, and Seymour, Seymour is an older brother to me. He's been in the industry longer. I've admired his work, and we get over there, and I'm like, oh, Seymour, and he's like, oh yeah, bro. He's like, oh, Seymour's one of the most humblest.
He's like,
people.
please, we're just chilling.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, bro. And so
You're over there like, do you know who you are?
yeah, and he's like telling me, he's like, do you know who you are?
Aw.
And I'm just like, dude, you're dope.
It's like having bromance. Like, did
Yeah,
we just become best
exactly.
friends? I love it.
Still best friends.
Ah,
Seymour.
that's what's up.
Yeah. So this guy, we're over here and we're in the room, and Lopetti's doing a tattoo. Isaiah's there. Freewind came in. One of these. Freewind. So it was just
Dude.
it was a lot of energy in the room.
I was
And
like, it sounds like a dick measuring contest in a sense. You're like,
you
whip
know
it out.
you know all these
Whip
people, so
it
you
out.
already know how everybody is. So everybody's whipping it out, but me. I'm just like,
What?
hey,
See, please.
I'm new to the party. I'm
I'm
not
gonna
showing
save
you guys
mine for last.
I've seen all your guys on magazines and everything. So just
I'm
don't,
gonna keep it a mystery.
you don't need to see mine. Well, I'm over there and I'm talking and I tell the old man, I said, hey, I wanna learn under you. I wanna study under you.
And so this is
And
2006, right?
yeah,
2000.
this is 2008.
Oh, okay, 2008.
So this is 2008.
Wow.
So, 2006, I was fresh out of prison. That's why.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay.
I met
5 days, and then you're
25-year-old
like,
Samoan
okay.
girl.
4 months
Yeah,
later.
4 kids.
Right.
Yeah, all that
Gotcha.
stuff. Tattoo shop. You know that. So 2008, we got the tattoo shop, and we're in
And
here.
that's when you met. I mean, got your
I
tattoo
got my
from
first
SULU'APE.
tattoo, and so then I did my kaukua. I'm my kausi. I'm doing my service. I'm taking care of, the people that are
Your teachers.
well, but
Your mentor.
they're in my village. This is Orange County. This is mine. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm the unofficial mayor of Anaheim. Baby Garden Grove.
More Garden Grove.
Yes. So so at this time when I meet these guys, I'm just I want to take care of them. How I would take care of my elders, my father, my uncles, and everything I'll do. I'm just like, hey, I'll make sure I do that for them because I want something from them.
Right.
I want this knowledge. I want this acceptance, and I want to tattoo like the rest of the guys tattoo.
Yeah, come on, I want to be in the club.
Don't call me the white boy no more. So
With your makapusi eyes, right? They're over there like, look
yeah.
at this fool right here. Oh, that's pretty amazing, though. So how long were you under the tutelage of SULU'APE? Petelo, specifically.
8+ years.
Wow. And so then to get to that climax, right?
Yes.
You finally got your title.
I got my title.
When?
I got my title in 2015.
Woo!
So I'm going to share with you a little story that maybe, Suho, you won't be too happy about me sharing, but he's told it to me, a couple times. And so the first time, I don't know, when I started, I wasn't doing the service to get the title. I wasn't.
Right, of course.
I was like, okay, you guys are kufungas, you guys do that. I'm just doing machine tattoos. I wanted to do the connection of the machine tattoos.
Like
and,
that bridge.
Yeah, and the traditional tattoos, and know that, like, what I'm tattooing with the machine, that it was comparable to the owl.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my
That was your mission, or at
that
least
was
your
my
purpose
mission.
the whole time.
Yeah. And so, that's, in doing that, I ended up stretching. We ended up coming up with procedures, like they call them ESIPs, Emergency Control Infection Prevention Plans. And this was for health departments so that we could, as Samoans, we could come into a convention and we could tell them that we're safely going to do our Samoan tatau. Because as we come over, we practice this art and the continental United States, there's a lot of diseases.
Right.
And so in Samoa, there's, now it's the same as anywhere else, but before they didn't have to worry about AIDS, hepatitis, all these things. And
but
so now
we have to worry about it now. Yes.
we have to worry about it
for a while.
And and so now coming into this, we had to develop how
like a playbook of an
so,
instructional book.
Yeah,
of, hey,
so I mean,
these are how we clean our
we
instruments.
Through,
this is what it's made of.
Growing steps. There's. I mean, when these guys first came from Samoa, they were tattooing with the bone tools.
Yeah.
And so we would go to conventions,
and they're like,
with
we can't.
And then so they'd be like, "How do you?" And I'm like this.
Like, that looks like it's a toothbrush.
Yeah, but I'm like, how long have you guys been doing this? You guys only been doing this like what? Maybe 30, 40 years. This is 4,000 years old.
Right.
You cannot judge this. So that
You're
was
not even on the level
yeah.
to even talk about
that
this.
was my early game plan when I dealt with health departments. You know?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I would just sit there and
You're
look
like,
'em-
you're racist.
Yeah. Look 'em- oh. You
Oh, I
wanna-
bet. Here you go, suppressing us all over again. Oh my gosh.
yeah. So I mean, until
I
the
could
point.
see you go to battle
Yeah.
for sure.
I went there. I did that. So then I got tattooed. When I got tattooed, I got sick. Whoa!
Oh.
Holy my goodness! You people know what a staph infection is?
Oh shit.
It's a bow. It's a ma'isua. It's all of that. So Samoan, we're used to that kind of thing,
You're like, put some bark,
Shit.
s-
I'll tell you what.
leaves
people,
on
yeah,
it. Go
Yeah.
kaele in the Sami.
People
Go
go to
in
the
the ocean.
hospital with this in the United States, and they're like, you get to the hospital going to tell you this. MRSA. MRSA.
And that shit is really
Yeah.
hard to kill.
Yeah.
So you had that.
Medicine-resistant staphylococcal acidovirus.
What'd you call me?
Exactly.
So you're safe. Where is that?
Yeah, so
are you sure? I think I need to be a little 6 feet from you.
there was this thing that we went through, and it was
How? How the irony, right? We're safe. Thousands of years. Freaking staphylococcal, whatever.
they brought the diseases to us.
This is your fault. Oh,
Christopher Columbus. Bastard.
wow. So, and then that's when you're like, oh, maybe we really should be a little safer. Kind of go through procedural.
Well, you know what? We went through procedures. I mean, I seen the bone tools. I didn't know what the hell to do with them. I was just, the first time I seen them cleaning these tools. Okay, true story. True story, Lulu.
Are you going to get some backlash from telling this story?
No, I mean, we changed all this shit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We changed it. So I came back. I was hosting Lafayette for the first time.
Okay.
And it was his first time working in a professional tattoo industry atmosphere. So somebody had, set up his whole round of work. He was going to do a little United States tour, and they came in, and the first stop was California. This guy had approached me, and he was like, hey, will you be willing to host
Wow, coronavirus.
No whiskey. Can we edit that shit out? Oh my
no,
God.
we're keeping it really authentic,
Holy
right?
shit.
Only for you. Maybe I'll look back on it.
Oh my God.
Joe, where do
Lulu.
you get this guy?
So, what were we talking about right now?
You were hosting Lafayette,
Oh, so we're hosting Lafayette.
and they asked you like, "Hey, do you mind hosting? He's about to take a tour for
Yeah.
and California was the first stop."
So here Lafayette, I didn't know Lafayette. I'd met Aleva, Petello, I'd met Pika, and we'd worked together, and they had bone tools, but they were willing to work with the Aunila, and so Lafayette came in. And then Lafayette comes over. Lafayette ended up staying at my tattoo shop for 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are the host with the most.
Exactly.
Like, stay as long as you, for real, as long as you want.
As my former older Uso Easy E said, fuck saying no, we too busy saying yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So 7 months.
Yeah, so Lafayette comes over, and then they start staying over here. We start some work. We had 5 pairs. One of them ran. One of them was like, no, I'm not getting tattooed. We had a fungal, and things were kind of a little bit heated. Typical stuff. So I decided I'm gonna get my pay, but when I come back, I'll get caught. So I go to a tattoo convention in Sacramento, and then I'm trying to drive back to get my tattoo. I was supposed to start on Tuesday. By the time I drive in on Tuesday morning, I'm like beat. I've been driving all night, and they're like, "Take a rest. You'll start tomorrow." But when I rolled up that evening, they just finished the session, And so I rolled up, and uh, his number two stretcher at the time, Kyungi, is over here with a toothbrush and the owl, and the old man's holding a hose and a bar of Dove soap. So
Damn, I was
this
I
is
was totally
sterilization.
I was
This
totally
is
joking about
yeah.
the toothbrush, but that shit was
This
for
this
real.
is for real. This is sterilization. This is sterilization in 2009.
Oh
And
my!
I'm looking at it, and so these guys have been getting tattooed at my shop, and I
And you're
remember,
looking at all the
yeah,
alerts go off in your mind, right? You're like,
I'm parking my car, and I'm just like, I'm gonna get sued. I'm getting
shut down,
sued.
getting
Shut down. The dream is over. So
all because I wanted to be the host with the most.
yeah, and so the first thing in my mind is like, how do I salvage this? And so my Samoan, mentality is just like, get tattooed with them. So I fucking jump in. Yeah, jump in. So there's four guys going. I end up being number 5.
Wow.
I come in, and they're probably about 7 days into work, all the 5 of them.
And you're just starting.
And so then I jump in, and I finished in front of all of them.
No way.
Oh yeah,
So you were a
Strongest.
light bleeder?
best of the best.
Either that or
Those
they
guys,
couldn't
you know
wait to
what?
get you done.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I was pico al kufunga. I was a favorite. I got
course.
all the best designs. You guys, don't be mad. This is our story. We're all soas. Yeah, for real.
Oh, they're still mad at you. They're holding
Nah,
grudges.
man, we talk to each other. I love these guys.
So wait, they were 7 days in. How long was yours then total?
I got tattooed 9 days out of 17.
Unreal.
Yeah, and so, but we were getting tattooed with the nifupua. It was the pig's tooth,
Right.
and
The
so,
boar tooth.
Yeah, and
Oh.
so now when I tattoo people now, and I have very little tolerance for
Any kind of like wincing or pain
Yeah,
or
yeah.
crybaby-ish.
like King English. You're like, no,
You're like,
no,
oh,
no.
please.
You better stop that right now.
There's none of that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wish we had all the time in the world. You.
Are we done?
Yes. Unfortunately, but that's why I was like, we have to have.
16, 17, 18.
Yeah, all these
and
episodes coming up.
23.
This will definitely not be the last time you see this guest, for
Yo.
lack of a better word, this
Yeah.
artist, artiste.
Co-host.
Yes, my co-host now.
Co-host
was
with the most.
This was his portfolio, and I think he passed for sure.
All right. I'm
Okay,
ready, Lulu.
I already know you're ready.
Like, for real, we can do some
I'm gonna be.
Kelly Ripa,
I'm gonna be like SULU'APE is like, I'll see you on Tuesday. Skip Monday. I'll see you on Tuesday. Oh, okay. One more time though. A-Town, where can they go to get artists by you to be drawn up?
You can come. Just go to Samoa.
You want a boar tooth? Right here, this guy.
It's A-Town Tattoo in Garden Grove, California.
And all your handles, how can people stalk you?
So my MySpace.
Oh
is-
my gosh.
Wait. Hold on.
You're
And
all
then
like-
you can catch me at AOL.
Oh no.
Yes.
He's
No,
like, the what's it? The personals on the newspaper still. Craigslist. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
we'll stick with the IG. Yeah, look up A-Town Tattoos. My CE Liufau, all one word. Love that.
All lower cap. No.
yeah. I'll wear whatever caps you want. Bust a cap.
Oh man. Any last words about like just advice that you'd like to give some up and coming artists?
Grind. Don't expect it's gonna come easy. Work hard. Respect the art. Respect the industry. You get it from your elders. This is one of the things I think at the beginning you told me, that I was self-taught, and I was not self-taught. And the things that I've learned from the people that I've learned, it's hundreds of years, thousands of years of learning, especially, from
It's
from
evolved so much.
well, it evolves. We are the evolution. But you can't be the evolution without learning. So, with my mentors that I've learned from, um, I've I've learned things that they've learned, and they learn from other people, and
And it's very much like our culture. It's
in the
passed
matter of
down
the tatau,
and storytelling.
this art form has been with us for thousands of years, and so what we do is we practice this thousands of years of knowledge, and so um, I mean, how can anybody think that they can teach themselves thousands of years of knowledge?
That's
I
already
don't
been
give
out
a
there.
shit. Like, you're gonna be watching YouTube until you die, mother.
Right.
Learn from somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a
Hands-on,
mentor.
get there.
Yeah, and that's what does it for you. That's you ain't shit without somebody before you. And I think that is one of the things that whether you're in a family, in a village, you have parents, you have people that came before you. You ain't shit without somebody in front of you. And so, ole ala pule ole tautua. So the path through leadership is through service.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way you can have people under you and service you if you haven't serviced anybody. And that is, I guess, the moral of the story. And, I'm
I'm
ready.
sorry.
I'm ready to service. Everybody loves
Servicing
Lulu,
everybody, right?
and I'm the block.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Mr. SULU'APE, CEO Liufau. Thank you so much for just gracing us with your presence, man. You will never meet anyone like this man, and I can't wait to have you back on the show. It was an absolute pleasure.
I am looking forward to it.
It was very orgasmic. It's your girl,
Whoa.
Miss Lulu.
Hey,
Maybe-
Taumata Gray. Hey, Soleil. I had nothing to do with that line.
Why our kid be tattooed? Anyway, that's another
All right.
story for another day. Make sure you tune in islandblognetwork.com for every episode of Everyone Loves Lulu, especially this one. See, hear, and speak love. Mwah!